I generally think it's not a great idea to make lists. Of course, I didn't used to feel that way. I approached love the way I'd approached grocery shopping, looking for the items on my list and skipping past the rest. I mean, grocery lists and task lists aren't all bad, but listing what you're looking for in love, it's always going to be based on the past. It sets up an artificial standard that in some way prevents us from experiencing the people we meet as they really are, but instead through a filter of evaluation against past experiences and definitions of what we think it means to be successful or generous, and prevents us from maybe learning a whole new definition of success or generosity. Lists aren't the only way I tend to distance myself from my experience. Always in my head, usually a step ahead of the present or living in the past. Comparing, judging, analyzing like some pre-programmed autopilot. I think I'm at the wheel, but I'm not. I was desperate to be loved. And I suppose we all are. But those of us who are most desperate to be loved by others, well, it's usually because we don't really love ourselves. We look for things outside of ourselves to make us lovable. We shop for clothes and cars and men to cover us up on the outside instead of looking inside. So much of how I go through life was programmed into me without anyone noticing when I was a little kid. My knee-jerk reactions and perspectives formed with a 5-year-old brain. We take some bad experience or sensation and set up plans to avoid ever feeling that way again. Patterns and habits that kept going long after we forgot why we made those plans. I never ate healthy or exercised a day in my life because I wanted to. Only because I thought I should. I had a whole list of things I thought I should be. But one day I heard an interview on the radio that tricked me into making one more list that played out in a way I never would have guessed.
I haven't really found anything. And what does he say? Have you just asked him? Well, I haven't straight up asked him. I mean, sometimes I'll just ask what's wrong or something, and he'll just say things are really busy or stressful at work. Relationships are hard nowadays. There's polyamory, there's religious dating sites, casual hookup sites, speed dating. Makes you yearn for the good old days of arranged marriage. Well, if you feel lonely, if you're struggling to navigate the life of a single woman, our next guest says that they've got the answer. Dr. Isle, a board-certified relationship counselor and author of the book Love the One You're With, joins us today on KGNU, and she's got some good news for all you singles out there. Thanks for being with us today, Dr. Isle.
Thank you for having me.
So you've said the answer these singles seek isn't on a website, it isn't a speed dating bar, and it won't cost you any money?
That's right.
And your book promises that within 1 month, you're guaranteed to find that special someone?
Well, not exactly, but yes. The book lays out simple steps to follow, and by following those steps, we do promise that within 1 month you will love the one you're with.
Love the One You're With. That's the name of the book.
Yes.
Well, what's the secret?
We all want to find the perfect person to spend the rest of our lives with. We all have that list of attributes, features, qualities that we look for in a partner.
I know I do.
Take that list and write down those qualities you are looking for. Then for each one, see how you can embody that in yourself.
That sounds like some great trick. Hey, I want a bodybuilding doctor. Tell me the secret to get that.
Well, if you want to find that perfect person you want to be with, you have to be that person. Write down those attributes and spend just 1 month developing those in yourself. We have worked with hundreds of singles and the results have been consistent and life-changing. You need to make those attributes your own. Give that a shot for 1 month and I guarantee you, at the end of the month your loneliness will be gone and you will be with someone you love.
Well, let's see if it really works.
I already had a list in my head. I had been considering it for years. And so I wrote out my perfect man. Funny, smart, physically fit. He already existed in my head. Creative, mentally stable, and generous. And then, like the doctor on the radio said, I took all the qualities I was looking for in someone else, and I set out to build those in myself, thinking I just might get lucky and land them on the very first stop.
Excuse me.
Hi.
Hi,
What was your name?
Larry.
Very good to meet you. Is this your first time here?
It is.
Okay, gang, we're going to start off with a really simple game. Arms expert. And the person in the front is an expert in the field of the audience's choosing, and the person in the back plays their arms. But we will need 2 volunteers to start this off. So who would like to just sort of volunteer to start off the first game? Okay. So we have 1 and 2. Great. Okay. All right. Both of you stand up.
All right.
We're going to get started. Go ahead and put your hands behind your back, and then Larry's going to reach his arms through.
It had been a while since I had been
Perfect.
touched.
And then I'm going to need an area of expertise.
No, you don't.
Oh, you don't have to. Just your arms behind your back. Simple.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. And stay focused this way. Okay. Go ahead and tell us about your life as a dairy farmer.
Okay, so dairy farmers, being a dairy farmer is very rigorous work.
You're going to want to keep your hands behind your back, so
Oh.
you don't have 4 hands.
Okay.
Okay.
You have to get up really early in the morning.
Okay. You're guiding his.
You want to maybe someone else? Maybe
You
someone
gotta
else.
Let him make the choices. That's where the comedy's going to come
Someone
from.
else.
Don't. We'll have somebody else.
It's fine.
Well done.
Improv didn't quite work out like I expected, but I was determined and I moved down my list. So I got books that could make me smarter, or at least make me look smarter to that handsome librarian checking them out. I started exercising and eating better. Learned some new recipes. And took a photography class.
There's also the.
And the more I got into it, the less I found myself thinking about men. Turns out the books actually had some good stuff in them. I kept exercising, this time for me. And funny enough, I started meeting people. Not people I was hoping could rescue me. Just other people taking care of themselves. So I cultivated my own garden. And being just got a little easier. It's surprising, but by the time I got to the end of my list, I almost forgot why I made it in the first place. I had set out on a path that was getting me somewhere I never would have expected. A kind of love I really wasn't looking for. I was looking for a trick to find love, but as it turns out, I was the one tricked into something so much more fulfilling and with no end.